Hello and welcome to a very special episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Today's guest is one of the most charismatic and best in-ring talents in the UK scene today. Please welcome the big strong man. How you doing today, mate? You're good?
That was a big strong intro. Big strong intro. I like that.
Much love, mate.
We
Much
can be
love.
friends if you keep that up. We can be friends if you keep that up.
I've seen how you are in previous interviews. I saw you on in the radio one, and
Oh yeah. Nah, don't worry then. Nah,
I was like, yeah, I'm not going to piss this
yeah,
man off. But yeah, we're
nah, man. Got them in the yeah. So
off to a good
yeah,
start, my man. Off to a good start. Um, as opposed to rewinding the clocks, usually I start off with like the origins or how to get into wrestling, that sort of thing. But because it's been happening recently, I think I'm going to talk about. I want to discuss you recently crossing paths with Tom Campbell from Cultaholic at Discovery Wrestling. So if you could tell the listeners, I mean, it's all well good that I can do it, but I don't feel I'll do it justice. But if you, strong man, can tell the listeners what kicked off this feud.
what kicked off this feud? See,
That's really good
this
timing, by the
is
way. The light just goes off. It just gets really dark
yeah.
now.
See, that this is a problem. Like this is a problem right here. So there shouldn't be a feud. Tom Campbell's and a date. But I turned up to Discovery Wrestling on Sunday,
Mhm.
and when I was in the ring, trying to have my moment in my big strong return, but the people paid to see me in the ring, not Tom Campbell. Remember that, me. But Tom Campbell decided to start having fun and games, start to turn on and off my microphone while I was in the ring. Um, he even said my name wrong at one point. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tom Campbell. I'm not going to be as nice to him the next time I see him. There might even be, some kind of
Yeah,
consequences coming his way. I don't want to say anything. I don't
yeah.
want to put any threats out there. Legal reasons and stuff like that. But yeah, Tom
Tom
Campbell,
may or may not
I
have
see him,
to look behind the shoulders. Maybe have eyes in the back of his head for legal reasons. We're not saying that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
Well, I would watch it back. I'd watch it back.
I've
What I'm
been
gonna say.
enjoying the tweets, but yeah, I think it's all good. We're all laughing right now, but when you're next back at Discovery and Tom's there, it might not end too well, and it
I've
might
not laughed at it. I've
be
not
laughing
laughed
matter.
once. This last since Sunday,
Yeah,
I've literally non-stop just been harassed by all these fans of his
yeah,
podcast and people correcting my spell and I don't know. I don't care how you spell loser because if you're replying to my tweets and telling me how to spell loser, then you are a loser. So just for whoever that stupid fan was, just leave me alone. I'm just trying to do my job and be a big,
yeah.
strong entertainer, big, strong, professional, tough guy. And then people like Tom Campbell out there just making the show all about him.
Hmm.
He even got a graphic, and I never got a graphic. That's disgusting.
What the Clash at Castle one where you've been photoshopped? Is that the
No,
one?
no, Discovery Wrestling got a graphic, and I never.
Oh,
So
what they've done a graphic of this? Oh, bloody hell!
yeah, he done his own graphic, and I never. Yeah, so.
Oh
People
god,
say I've got a problem with Tom Campbell, but I think the world has a problem with me, and
I think he's
that's my
having a bit of
problem.
fun with you, but he did have your cup, well, your image on the cup. So was that kind of an endorsement, or do you feel like he was kind of mocking you at the same time with that cup being on the show?
Well, at first I was like, oh, he's clearly got a big strong cup drinking.
Yeah,
Then I realised he's down in England. You can't drink English tap water. You would get sick. That's disgusting. You can only be drinking Scottish tap water. So then someone pointed out to me it was actually calling me a big strong mug. So for 25 minutes, he had me sitting, didn't even mention me, didn't even have the audacity to say my name, at least, give me a shout out. He just
yeah.
had me sitting on the table, having me look like a big strong mug. So
Have you had that chant yet at shows, by the way? Big strong mug.
let's not even encourage it. Don't
No, no, no,
don't
no.
start.
Like,
Don't
we're
start.
we're on a good level at the
Don't
moment.
put that in. Don't put that into there. Don't put that into there, please.
Please don't chant it if that's
No,
okay. Just don't, because I don't want big strong man
don't
come
like
back
that.
on the show and fucking me up. But yeah, no, no, fair play, mate, fair play. So Tom, keep an eye out. But for the listeners out there that haven't seen it yet, go on your Twitter. But we will promote your Twitter, and they can, be either entertained or be excited for Tom and your revenge. So we'll see there. What I want to know now, as I will rewind the clocks, is discover just before you became the big strong man, is how did you become a wrestling fan?
So pretty much like all through my years, like since like I remember like the first ever pay-per-view I ever watched, I just had like a videotape. I
Mhm.
think it was King of the Ring 1999. It was the year Billy Gunn won.
Oh my
Like one
God,
of my
I'm
first
so sorry.
yeah, no, no, I love it. I love Billy Gunn, so I'm like class. It's a great way to start. Like I don't know. I just look back in that. That was like the first like real memory. I
Yeah,
remember watching wrestling and then like through playing the games when I was younger and stuff like that growing up. Um, then like I didn't have like Sky growing up, so like this is kind of common in the UK. Like a lot of
yeah.
people had like wrestling channel, TNA and stuff like that came on TV.
Wrestling channels, so many
And then
great
it was like
memories.
just AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Joe, all the guys, and then like Christian, Kurt Angle, and all that came in as well. So that was kind of like my childhood wrestling. And
Mm,
then I'd say I was like more TNA, like kind of as a like child growing up because I didn't have like WWE. Apart from like WWE experience, on Sky One was like the only thing you got. I mean, it was like right after Malcolm in the Middle. Shout out
mm.
Malcolm in the Middle,
And they'd
great
cut
show.
out like the chair shots and stuff, wouldn't they? Like, or like if someone went through a table, it'd be like blurred or something.
Yeah, 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 like chair shots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You'd like cut the crowds. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So it wasn't really like TNA was like a lot better at that age, but I think like as a teenager, I went through that kind of phase. You hit high school, oh, it's not cool to like wrestling. So I kind of liked it, but I would like hide it. Like even like when my like brother and stuff would walk into the room, I'd like change the channel and all that.
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not watching wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Quite act cool, but um, like I mean, like I'd say about WrestleMania 28 is when I like really fell back into wrestling.
Hmm.
And that was like Rock Cena. That
Yeah.
was like a really yeah.
Hell
I
in a
think that was like
Cell. Yeah, really
yeah,
good show.
yeah. I'd say that was like properly since then. I've just like non-stop like followed it and yeah,
Mm. No, that's
big
fair.
fan.
That's fair. Was there? I know we've talked about like the King of the Ring, 99. Fair enough. Never heard anyone say, by the way, that show specifically got them into wrestling. Where Billy Gunn, we've had like Austin, Triple H, Bret Hart. They've all been crowned, but no, Billy Gunn being crowned got you, strongman, into fucking wrestling, which is fucking awesome. By the way, I love that.
He's still going,
Um,
man. He's still going. So
all right, he's a unit. He's like what, 60? And he's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
still got one of the best physiques. Like you can say you can make all the allegations you want.
that's it.
At the end of the day, he still has to train to look like that. And he moves really well
Yeah,
still. And I got to applaud him for it, mate. Like just
that's it.
I'm up for Billy Gunn title
Definitely.
run. Just do it. I don't care.
Yeah,
No,
that's what
so
I'm up
I'm
for,
going
man.
for
Nah, I think he could hold that singles title there easily, man.
yeah.
And like it'd work.
Was there one match or one
Um,
show, or did you kind of know from like a young age that you wanted to become a pro wrestler? Was there like, oh shit, the light bulb's gone off. I want to do this.
I don't know. I never really had like the kind of like light bulb. Oh, I'm going to be a wrestler moment.
Mhm.
I just always like in the back of my head. Like I never knew what I wanted to be, and it was like the one thing where I was like, oh, that'd be like cool. I want
Mm,
to try that. Like always growing up in that. Like even the kind of years where I was like, oh, I don't know about like kind of is wrestling cool in that. Like I was still like, even thinking to myself then, like, oh man, like wrestling would be cool to try, but it
yeah.
wasn't even a possibility back then. So yeah, like I'd say like I don't know, like after I left high school, I was in college and stuff like that, and one of my friends asked me to join and go try a place, and we just like went for it. He lasted about 2 weeks, and then I've just never like kind of looked back since. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the ones. Like I don't know, like I knew it was like the minute I started, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, nah, this
Wasn't
is
like a specific moment like
for
CM
me.
Punk.
And
People assume that it was the coconut incident with Jimmy Snuka and
yeah,
Piper and or something like that one match. It made me a fan, but it's just you
I don't
kind
know,
of knew
man.
quite early on, and then someone's like, "Let's do it," and then you
Even
went
in
on
like
to do it.
high school and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like, making my own like creative wrestlers in the games and all that, and go online and play against like different people and go, I want to be like, do you know
Ah,
what I mean?
great
Like
wrestler.
online wrestling and stuff like that stuff. But even like back then, like I was just like wanted to be involved in wrestling. Like I'd even tell myself when I was younger if I didn't think oh, I was going to be a wrestler, I want to be like a ref, a manager,
Hmm.
just something and rest. So yeah, it was
Nice.
always like yeah, or like I saw probably what you're doing, like podcasting or like on YouTube or something like that. Because I was just like
Nice.
loved wrestling. So yeah,
Fair enough, mate. Shout out to the podcasters. Just I'm too lazy to
yeah.
go as far as you have. So, I did the train. It just wasn't for me. And I was like, I'm just gonna be a fan. But what I want to touch on is your debut. I just want to know about your first ever match. Did it go well? Did you have friends and family there? What was the general feedback that you received?
So my first ever match was like a 6-man tag. It was just on like a trainee show in a scout hall.
Mhm.
It was like friends and family. There was like a few people you'll probably know in it. Like Ian Skinner was in it. He
Yeah.
was one of the guys in it. Stone Malone was in it. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's Scottish. I'm trying to think who else was in it. If there's any other guys you'd maybe know. I don't know. I think like the rest of them's maybe like moved on or just like don't really train anymore. There's a guy called like Leo Ironside. He's like moved over to America. He was in it as well. It was like Len Ironside. It was that British wrestler's grandson.
Mhm.
But it was like I found it like 2 weeks before I was going to debut, so I didn't even have a gear or anything. I had like an old singlet of like, another trainees, but it was like far too big for me. I
Oh
got
no!
like a
Please tell
clown
me you watched it
vest.
though.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I got like it wasn't even like that bad. It was just like a plain black singlet. He probably used it for his debut and like that was it. But yeah, no, it was washed. It was cleaned.
Yeah,
But like um, what I was gonna say, the other guy in it. Sorry, I went off there.
that's right.
But yeah, no, well, that was it. I had like this like Kevin Owens like wife beater like cut out vest, and it was like purple logo on it. It was so badly done. It was just like my second name. Yeah, I was like not ready. I had like the fake tan on as well, so I looked like a bit in and pulling for.
Oh no! Just fake
Yeah,
tan your
but
first show. How bad was it?
I don't want
You
to.
stay in
I
the
don't want
ring.
to. Yeah, yeah, there was in a ring. I don't hope there's any like photos out there of that because yeah, like people
Yeah.
could probably
If anyone has any
they
photos,
find it.
DM one of us.
Nah, please don't, because that is. I look like I should be in the backyard. Do you know what I mean?
The first ever match, mate. It's not going to be,
But yeah,
it's not WrestleMania.
I know. I've been playing it like 2 weeks before, to be fair. So it was like even I ordered gear and it was like just not there on time. So
yeah.
yeah, one of the ones. But after that, I got proper gear. Like I only had a few matches before lockdown. It was kind of one of the ones where like I wrestled for about a year or two, just trained, had a few matches. Lockdown happened, and then once I got back from lockdown, I went to a different school called Respect Pro Wrestling, which then shut down again. But by this point, I was kind of doing like Mega Slam in England,
Mm.
which is like one of the kind of busiest touring companies.
Yeah, yeah.
They do a
Pretty
lot
well
of kind
known.
of big
Yeah.
shows and stuff like that. Yeah, they use like a lot of big guys. So that's where I'd say I really got like my kind of like that's where I started to really learn, I
Mm.
would say, and like become like an actual. I'd say in my opinion anyway, like I learned how to like actually become a wrestler and like work and do
Mm.
all these different things and stuff at this point. Like before then, I was just really like maybe had like 20, 30 matches. And I was just kind of ran
Kind of found
around
like, did you find like you
screaming.
kind of going nowhere, but then like Mega Slam happened and kind of developing as an actual talent,
Yeah, I feel like
improving as
Mega
a
Slam,
character. And
Strong Man was like kind of bottom, I'd say.
hmm
Because like I went down there, still was like my kind of just own name. They didn't understand it because it was like such a Scottish name. So I was like, I'll just call me the Big Strong Man. The promoter kind of like looked at me and laughed at the time. And then like he seen me wrestle once, he was like, I get it. Like he kind of just realised after that. So I mean, even when I went back down the second time, they were just still calling me Big Strong Man. And he turned around to me on like the third day and he was like, what is your actual name again? They just forgot. Like
but
so.
they remember Big Strong Man though.
Yeah. So I was like, the Big Strong Man's the way to go forward, more marketable, and just look at me like in general, I'm just the full package. I am the Big Strong Man, so
Yeah.
marketing.
And it works, mate. It works. I'm actually going to touch on Mega Slam. You went viral last year in that company where you stood in the ring against, well, maybe the most famous, strongest man, I'm talking about of all time,
Yeah,
Eddie Hall. Unfortunately, you were eliminated by him in the Mega Slam Rumble, where you were the final participant and in front of his family. But what a moment for you. How did this all transpire, mate?
I don't know, mate. I was mental to be fair. First time ever getting to the final two in one of the rumbles as well, and it was against Eddie Hall, so
Yeah.
not a bad night. But yeah, like how that came about was just so like out of nowhere. Like I mind I got the phone call for the promoter,
hmm
and like I was in like my bed. I think it was out the night before. I woke up and I remember like he phoned me and I was like, oh no, what have I done? Because he never usually like called me. He
Yeah.
would always text me. So I'm probably getting like sacked or something. I don't know. Like I always have these like negative, like I don't know if you're the same, like pure negative thoughts. Like
Yeah,
I
no, no,
always
no.
think the
I
worst
understand that. Completely
of the
understand.
time. So, yeah. yeah, so I was like picking up the phone. I was like, oh, what's going to happen now? What's going on? And then it was just telling. I don't know. Like he asked me if I was available for a day, and it was like he'd booked me like all these other weekends that I wasn't on this weekend. I was like, oh yeah, I'm available. He's like, I've got an opponent for you, a big strong opponent. They just kept kind of going on about it, and then he told me, and I thought they were like genuinely bamming me up. Like I thought they were just kind of
Mm,
taking the piss at me because like
yeah,
I was still like I was like one of the kind of less experienced guys there. Like, it was a locker room full of like guys who'd really been and done stuff and like really had big name in the UK. So I was like one of the kind of lesser known guys in that locker room. So I was like, nah, they're just taking the piss. But
yeah.
I'll go
It's
along
like
with
just
it. And
waiting
then
for it to
like it
all
got
end. Like,
closer and
guys, it's
closer.
getting boring now. Just let me know it's not me, or it's
Yeah.
gonna be like a dwarf
Like,
coming out. It's dressed like him or something.
yeah. I get told to like keep it a secret to myself, but then
Yeah.
like I spoke to one of the guys who was in like the training video. I didn't know this was like filmed at the time and all that, and they came up to me and he's like, "Oh, are you excited about your big match and stuff like that?" And I was like, "Oh, have you been told as well? Do you know what's happening?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I was filming with him." So at that point, I was like, "Oh, this might actually be happening." But like, it's one of the things in wrestling. Like, I've had like before this at this point, I've had like big stuff promised to me and it never goes through. So you kind of
Mm.
think, "Oh, is it going to happen and stuff like that?" So until like I got there on the day and like I seen him show up, I was like, "Oh, that's
Oh
brilliant,
shit.
man! It might not happen."
Yeah, but you
Because
still thought, oh, okay,
he's
it's
such
gonna
a
be
like,
someone else or something.
yeah, he's such a like a busy guy as well. Like
Yeah.
it could have been one of the things where he did just last minute be like, "No, I'll get something else on." Because
Mm.
I did find out it was one of the things. It wasn't like it was just kind of like turned up to do it. It was his hometown. It was more like a video idea and stuff like that. So it was kind of like his idea and stuff like that. For what I've been told, and the promoter's idea. So yeah, man, it was just super like kind of cool to be involved in that. And yeah,
I mean, that
man, like
video blew up.
I
Like
think that's like,
nearly 3 million people
yeah,
have
it's
seen
got
that
like
video
four
alone. You're
million,
endorsed at the
yeah,
end, and the fact that
ages.
not only you have that spot at the end of the Mega Slam Rumble, but it's the fact that you actually get to go out and confront him as well.
Yeah, it's mad. Like I mean, like even like with the footage and all that, like because it happened. I think it was like February last year.
Hmm.
It didn't get released till like 4 or 5 months later. I was like, oh, he's probably just not gonna like
Yeah.
upload it. He'll just scrap it as like a
Yeah, yeah.
scrap video idea. And I was like, for months, I was like, ah, it was cool. It at least happened.
Yeah.
Like I'll remember it and stuff. But then, like when he released it, as you say, it's like nearly 3 million views. I think so.
Mm.
That's like if that's like the best thing I've ever done in wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Like at least I can put, oh, this many people see me wrestle. So I think that's quite cool. Like
I
you
like
can
doesn't
always
make
go
it
out.
all about himself either. Like he spotlights you, he
Yeah,
spotlights his family and the company itself and wrestling in general. And it's just a really cool video. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's out there. Eddie Hall,
yeah,
wrestling. It just comes up. The thumbnail, you can't miss it. But the guy's massive. Um, and just the fact you're
funny.
spotlight in it, it's so cool. It's so cool. I saw it a while ago, but then I rewatched it again just to kind of remind myself. What did your friends and family, even your fans, like? What did they say to you when it eventually came out and it blew up?
Like it's funny. Like the only people I did tell when I found out about it was I went round to like my mum and dad's. And I was like, oh, I'm wrestling Eddie Hall, and they were just like, they're not like on the internet or anything like
Yeah,
that. They're quite like old fashioned.
yeah.
So they
Oh,
were just like,
good luck.
who's Eddie Hall? They were just like, who's Eddie Hall? And then I showed like my dad a picture, and they're like, you're fighting him if it was like such a bad thing.
Yeah,
He was like, he'll kill you. And I was like, all right, cheers for the. Like I came round all chipper, and they were just like, oh,
I love you too, mate.
like yeah, it was a brilliant. But like after that, I was like proper. Like I didn't want to tell people because I was
Mhm.
like, again, this might fall through, and then I look stupid because I've
Yeah,
been running about
good
with
bite in
whatever.
the
So
arse. If,
everyone's got a big mouth in wrestling as well. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like nothing's a secret in wrestling.
yeah,
It's one of the things. Do you know what I mean? So I had it like even like the people I was in the car with that weekend and stuff like that, like didn't know what was going on.
man, that must have killed you a
Um,
little bit, just like this, like
oh
the
mate,
back
like
of the car or the front of the car,
yeah,
whatever. Just like, oh god, so someone.
yeah. One of the guys like Hugo Harris, who was like in the video as well.
Yeah.
Like he only found out on the day, but I mean, like I was going down with him and all that. I was like, oh my god, like wait till you see what I'm doing today. And he was like, I was like, I couldn't tell him, but it's one of the things. I was like, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be. But I just kept hyping it up to him all day, and then we got there, and he got to do a little bit in it as well. It was
Mm.
cool, cool to share that moment with him as well, because he's someone like I wrestled before lockdown and stuff like that, and like we were both very like green and new to wrestling and not the best, and then like to see how good he's got now and like sharing that moment with him and stuff like that was kind of cool.
That's weird. Have you two wrestled each other since lockdown, or have you had any matches?
Um, I think we might have wrestled in Ireland and stuff like that. I seen him in a show in Dundee. Earlier in
Nice.
the year, I seen he
Half my
done
family's
something
from
with Jake the
Dundee,
Snake.
so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen he done something with Jake the Snake in a show. So
Jake the
I know he's
Snake.
still doing it. Yeah, no,
Oh
he's
my
done a
god, is
show
that
with
when he
Jake.
used to like live in the UK? Kind of not being
Yeah, yeah.
paid, like being on
That's
that phase. Like,
that's a memory for you. To be fair, like going all the way back, how like, I got into wrestling. So like one of the first shows I ever went to as like a wrestling fan had
yeah.
like Jake the Snake advertised on it.
Oh my
But
god.
then like there was a thing in the paper. It was in Wishaw
Yeah.
Sports Centre. It was like a thing in the paper afterwards. Like he couldn't appear. I don't know. Like it was obviously due to personal reasons or whatever. I don't know what was going on at the time. I was like seven. Um,
The
but like I
information's
mind
out there.
after
That's
it, they
just
were
what we'll say.
yeah, yeah, I'll be out there. If you want to Google what he was doing at that time, I don't care. It's one of the ones. But they were like, hyping up this big replacement, and then we got like a fake Undertaker. So that
Oh
was good
man,
fun.
it was so good. Fake Undertaker,
Yeah,
fake Kane, and
yeah,
as a kid though, no, to be honest, as a kid, I think we all kind of knew. Just it was,
yeah. Because like it was like I think it was after like no, it was 2005. I'm sure it was
yeah.
No Mercy. It was Randy Orton Taker, and I watched No Mercy the night before, and I'm sure that's the one to get like buried. So
Oh
I
yeah,
thought he just get
when
buried.
they put them in the casket and then they burn it and then
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Somehow he just get buried, then he's got on a flight to Scotland, and he's wrestling in Wishaw Sports Centre. Do you know what I mean? So
I've got to
you
taste the
know,
tap water. That's
he's
so
over.
true.
I want to rumble it then.
I'm sorry to. I think majority of my listeners are English, but the tap water in Scotland is so much better
Brilliant.
than tap water here. Like one, I
It's
don't feel like
brilliant,
I'm
man.
gonna have to go to the hospital straight after drink tap water here. But it's just so much fresh. It's so much. I don't actually know the explanation for it. If you can tell me, if you actually know right now why it's better, um, yeah,
I
I'm
think a
quite
river
interested.
the water's cleaner. I think it is just literally like the
I think
river
it is
the
actually
water's cleaner.
clean the water. All you got to do is
Yeah,
come down
yeah.
London, go to Thames, for example. It's just basically most of it's just human shit in there.
We don't
Um,
have like people from Campbell in Scotland, so we're good.
good old Tom Campbell, good old Tom. But it's awesome that you got to that exposure, like saying your family and your friends, and just overall, it kind of enhanced your career. And you got to continue success. And I've been watching what you've been doing recently, but going forwards, I always like dream scenarios. Who would be right now? Doesn't have to be a past wrestler, but right now, and it can even be someone you've seen on shows, but you're not wrestled yet. Your dream match right now. The promoter's on the phone
There's
to
a
you,
few.
big strong man. Who is your, not Tom Campbell? But who is that one wrestler you want to get in the ring with right now? I can do it. Who are you gonna pick?
There's a few. I'd say like the big one, Scotland, UK. Like it's not happened yet. It's going
Yeah.
to happen someday. When it does, Scottish wrestling, British wrestling, it's going to be ready. I'm calling him out as Grado.
Yeah, Grado, Grado.
I was meant to wrestle Grado one time before lockdown. Never happened.
Yeah.
One reason or another. Never spoke since. Never been in contact since. Never been on the same show since. He's been ducking me. That's what I think.
When you
He's
call
been.
his name.
So Grado, if Grado is listening, he probably is listening because he's probably obsessed with the big strong man like the rest of
Yeah,
Scottish and wrestling. But he's kids on, he's too busy. But if you're listening, Grado, let's make some money. Let's have a big strong match.
that's
Let me
so
throw you.
easy money for like whoever's promoting the show. It's just there. You're just putting free money. So Grado, I'm gonna tag you. Please don't block me after. Um Nah, he's cool. He's cool. I just that match makes so much sense, and I just think it'll be so much fun. And there'll be some good
Like,
wrestling as well.
yeah, definitely, man. Like he is somebody who, obviously kicked off the full boom period back in the day in kind of
Mm.
British wrestling 2010s and stuff. So, and I feel like I was compared to Grado early starting in my career, and now I just want to show people like Grado can't touch me in the ring, and Grado should have been compared to me.
They're fighting words, but you're a confident man. No, sorry, you are a
Nah, man, yeah,
big, strong man. Imagine
catch
taking
up,
that bit
man.
out of context and just not knowing it's about wrestling.
Yeah, something. I know.
um,
It's when it's when people like see my signature because it is just BSM.
Oh, kids, go to the show. Queue up for Big Strong Man and get your autograph
There's
right
so
now.
much you can do with BSM.
I'm gonna ask you one serious question. Do you now believe in Joe Hendry?
See,
You know why I'm asking this.
I know what you're asking. I know there's been footage put out there. See, it's not even the first time I've wrestled Joe Hendry. I wrestled Joe Hendry last November.
Yeah,
I lasted longer than I did the last time in Barmalt, the long week. But see, the fact I've not been in the ring with Joe Hendry once, but twice, it just means the third time I'm going to be lucky. It's going to be a
yeah,
different result. I do believe in Joe Hendry, to be honest. Like, I think what he's done in wrestling at the minute is like proper inspirational, especially for like guys like myself who are like coming up. Because I've been a fan of like Joe for years as well. I grew up kind of as a teenager watching Scottish wrestling and British wrestling and stuff like that, ICW and stuff like that. He was one of the big guys back then. So like seeing what he's doing now is kind of like he's always said he's going to do it. If that makes sense. Like I've
yeah.
always listened to podcasts. LA's like back when he first started, when he was in WCPW, and he was saying how he's going to go to WWE and stuff like that, and he's done it. Do you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
kind of just shows like hard work and stuff like that. And Joe's someone, even though he's like beat me up recently, and it doesn't look like Blaze winning me when winning that ring because he's just flung me about and took my head off a bad clothesline, and yeah. But like he's helped me out a lot in wrestling as well, and like I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today in wrestling if it wasn't for like stuff Joe said to me and like kind of
Hmm.
yeah, I've got like a lot of kind of thanks to give to Joe as well.
No, that's
Apart for
awesome,
like the
man.
so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
but yeah, nah, big Joe Hendry fan and
Yeah.
cool to see him obviously
Nah,
in
he's
Scottish
cool.
wrestling.
Had him on the podcast
Yeah,
a couple months ago. He's confident,
yeah,
but because he's been doing it for so long now. But you can listen to him talk, and just like you hear the passion, like you believe it. Not gonna, no pun
yeah,
intended because of this catchphrase, but you do genuinely believe in what he says, and just see he has worked hard for his success. But the fact that you're on your path as well, and I think you're in the right direction, and I think generally
thank you, man.
it's going to get better and better for you. Just think what you've really achieved in the last few years, really, and just still so young, but
Thank you, mate.
it's awesome, mate. It's looking good for you. So I'm going to ask you one last question. It's a fun question. Doesn't have to be about wrestling. You
Ah,
decide. You're the host. Dream dinner. 3 dream dinner
oh,
guests. Past, present. I
ah,
don't know. Anyone, mate. It can be. I don't know. So you went to school with. You're not seen years. Up to you, big strong man. Three guests.
yeah.
Can be non-fiction, but you are the man. And a quick reason as to why you want them there. Go for it.
I don't know, like hard one. I'm tempted to just pick like a really chaotic dinner table,
Go for it, mate.
like not
Honestly,
some sort
just
of dream table.
nothing
But I
surprised me
feel
in this
like
one. Well, some few answers that.
then if I start naming these guests, I might like yeah end up cancelling myself when I start dropping names. But nah, I'll keep it PG. I'll be nice and
Do you know what? I was going to do some suggestions, but then I'll get cancelled. So
I'll go wrestling first.
what about Shark Boy? TNA
Ah,
fan?
he could be there to be fair. We'll put Billy Gunn there. He
Ah,
started this. He started this
winner of the
journey. Put
greatest
Billy Gunn
King of the
there.
Ring tournament. Said no one ever.
Yeah, we'll put Billy Gunn there because like I imagine he'd have some like just stories. Um,
Decades
but
of
I think
he's seen shit.
Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner put
Yes,
him there.
fucking yes. Love Scott Steiner.
And then who else? Who else is kind of? Don't know. I'm just tempted to go back to my table of wrestlers. Wild night out.
Scott
Tempted to kind of
Steiner,
say
Billy
Flair.
Gunn. Who?
I was like tempted to say Flair, but also I think that might be a bit
Yeah, but
too wild.
you're going to end up paying for the bill because he's like, he just
Yeah,
massive
nah,
cheapskate.
I can't have Flair, nah, I can't have Ric
Oh,
Flair,
mate,
nah.
can you really afford the tab? But the stories
Nah,
he's
I
had at
can't
the
be
same
doing that.
time,
Can't
is
be
he
doing
going to
that
make
to the
it
Beatles.
to the end of the mill?
Who else we put in? Who else we put in? You know what? I'll say somebody I've done shows with, just cause, not shows. I've done like seminars and stuff like that with, and he's
Yeah.
always been like cool anytime I've met him. DNA guy, Eric Young, man, put him in there. He's been pretty
Lady
cool
who,
anytime I've
sorry?
met him. Eric Young,
Eric Young. Fantastic
yeah,
guy.
yeah, man. He
Super
was
nice.
very cool. He was so cool anytime I've met
Mm.
him. I see him in like any podcast, but there's just like an opportunity to like put someone over him. Like Eric Young's cool. He's
Nah,
like
mate,
another
I
guy.
will happily talk to him again. He's such a nice guy. First ever interview I did in person was with Eric Young.
Oh, really, man? That's
Yeah.
really cool, man.
But it's awesome that you got to
He's
pick his
another.
brain as like as a wrestling talent, and he's just full of knowledge.
Mhm. He's like I grew up watching him, and like when I started training, like
Hmm.
stealing a lot of his stuff these early days, and like doing seminars with him and that, and getting to pick his brains and like
Mm.
asking questions about like how he started and like how he got his character. I don't know if you've seen his original TNA character
Oh, what
when he
the
was
Don't Fire Eric and Team Canada and
yeah, when
yeah,
he was like scared of pyro and stuff like that, and he would come
yeah,
out
he
and
just walked out, just like yeah, shit in it.
yeah, so like anything, just like listening. I've done a few seminars, but like listening to them speak about stuff like that, and that's very
Yeah,
cool.
I
That's what
love
got
it.
him muddled.
Which version of Eric Young, just to kind of add to it, then I'll wrap this up.
Oh yeah, the like scared of pyro Eric Young, who's like
Don't
coming out
Fire
and
Eric,
like
but
you
yeah,
know if you mind the one like, scared of monsters and stuff like that, and scared of that Eric Young.
with Scott Steiner
So
next to him.
yeah, Scott
Give
Steiner.
my fucking play.
Just, I'd say Billy Gunn's like the level-headed one in that
Yeah.
table, and then myself. So we've got like table with just characters and
If there's anyone out there wants to do a thumbnail, I will make up to you. I don't know how, but I'll give you a thumbs up. If you make a thumbnail
graphic.
for the big strong man. Big strong man, as we're now at the end of this interview, I'm going to ask you, where can the fans find you on social media? And if there's anything you'd like to promote, as we're now at the end, officially.
I'm just gonna check my social media
No
handles
worries,
now. I
no
should
worries.
know it.
I will.
Big Strong. It's all lowercase. Big Strong Man PW
Mhm.
social medias. So that's where you can find me. And what was the other question? Sorry.
Any shows, or I know you've called out Grado and Tom
Um,
Campbell, but is there any shows you've got coming up?
so yeah, like I've got quite a few shows coming up, man. I've got a really big weekend coming up with Unity Pro Wrestling and Attitude Pro Wrestling in August. They've got Hornswoggle over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I can't really say what I'm doing yet. One of the matches I'm doing that weekend's a singles match with Gene Money. That's been
Yeah,
announced. First time ever match.
that'd be good.
So
That'd be good.
that's a match I've been looking forward to for a really long time, me v Gene Money. So that's another one to tick off the big strong match list. So tickets available for that. And there's going to be a lot of big matches that weekend. They've got Leon Slater over as well, who's in
Mm,
TNA. Logo. The Fridays the Govan Rumble, the Saturdays Hamilton, Aki's Football Stadium, and then Sunday is Rugby Series for Attitude Pro Wrestling as well. And I'm wrestling Hornswoggle that night. That has been announced, so I can
that'd be
speak
sweet.
about that. That's
Their
like
party is
10 man.
buzzing for that. Just like he can also be so
Yeah.
creative with it as well because he's actually quite talented. Like I remember the We
Oh
LC
yeah.
match. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it was so good. It was brilliant. It's just
Yeah.
so
No man.
entertaining.
Definitely, man. But
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. But they can find out eventually at your social media handles, which I'll put in the description below. The Big Strong Man, it's been a pleasure having you. I know we've taken a while to get to this point to interview each other. Not interview each other, me interview you. You speak to me and come on, have a laugh. But it's been
not
worth the
much
wait,
easier.
absolutely worth the wait. So thank you very much for coming on. If all the listeners can like this video, follow my man BSM on his social media handles and also follow me on my social media handles. They will be in the description below as well. That'll be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. But for now, everyone, take care. Peace.